Hello, this is Amanda. This is my Cycle 5 evidence and reflection. So I decided to use technology as a way to gain student data and to help assist with differentiation in the classroom. The first thing I did was I chose 3 different apps. My students have iPads, so they have access to iPad content. We downloaded the Socrative app, and then Kahoot was a web-based platform, and we also have Khan Academy. I felt that these 3 tools were very good in different ways, and I think I would use them for different purposes in the future. Socrative was a really good tool. We used their exit ticket, which was really nice. It was a preloaded exit ticket, and I was able as a teacher to really understand what my students learned from the lesson. For this particular lesson, it was a math lesson on percents, and it only took them, a couple seconds to log in. That was really nice, and they were able to finish within 2 minutes. So because it was preloaded, that made it a lot easier for me to implement and a lot easier to see student data besides just doing an exit ticket on an index card. This was a nice way to see, the responses are color coded. So it was nice to see how students did. I would use this again in the future, but specifically as an exit ticket. The next app that I looked at was Kahoot. And by far, this was the students' favorite app. Because it is competitive and you get to see student scores in between each question, there was huge amount of buy-in. The students really, really liked seeing their own scores, how they ranked in the class, and seeing the top scores on the board. I was a little concerned that this may be something they didn't like, but it ended up being a huge plus for the students, and they actually requested to do this again. So we've done follow-up Kahoot activities. From a teacher perspective, it is really nice because you do have individualized student data. I can click on the students and see exactly how they answered each question, so I can target different weaknesses and strengths on their skills, but I also get to see aggregate data as well, and this information was just sent to my email after we played the quiz. So I would definitely use this again. It was really, really helpful as a review tool, but I think it could also be used as a preview tool. So we used it kind of like an exit ticket game, but I definitely could see it being utilized in other ways in the future. And then the last tool I used was Khan Academy, which was already something that we do in class. We usually watch the videos, but I was not utilizing the individual student profiles. So my class has profiles, but I was not good at utilizing these. And the way I decided to use this was during independent review at the end of class, students that were either far ahead or far below understanding were put in groups, and I gave them specific assignments to meet their needs based on what they did in class. So again, this was helpful. Not everybody did this, but this was helpful for those students to differentiate within math. The high students got what they needed. They got a little extra challenge. And then the low students that really needed the review were able to go back and target specific skills, foundational skills that helped them during our current unit. And again, being able to track student data this way was really helpful. Khan Academy, I think, was the best tool as far as differentiation and individualizing lesson plans and catering to each individual student. So I would definitely utilize this in the future, but I do think that managing everybody's profile as an entire class is probably a bit overwhelming. So I really liked utilizing it in small groups just for those students that needed either the enrich or the review. But I think as a teacher, finding the time to manage and assign individual student activities every day, it would be a lot. So I really liked utilizing it for enrich and review practices. So overall, I think these 3 tools were really helpful. I would use them all again, but I think they all meet a specific need and a specific purpose. So just to recap, I think Socrative is really good for exit tickets. I think Kahoot is really good for review or preview. And I think Khan Academy works really well for differentiation for either high-level learners or low-level learners. All right, thank you so much.